In today's model, we're going to locate rational numbers on a number line. And remember, rational numbers are not whole numbers. In our situation, we're going to have fractions on our number line, and they can be positive or negative. So here are the fractions we're going to locate: a half, negative 1/4, negative 1/2, and 3/4. So before I start, things I want to notice, you always want to notice where the 0 is. And as soon as you see a number here, and I see a 1, negative 1 and a 1, I want to figure out what the scale is. Like, what is this going by? And one way I like to do this, sometimes I draw it out so I can see the fractional pieces. So I'm going to just make a drawing here. And I want to see how many pieces I have. So from this first line here, I have a piece, second line, and third line. So I can see those 3 lines there. And when I do that, I can now see this almost as a fraction bar. Can you see it, Math Marvels? Do you see the fraction bar? And it is broken up into 4 pieces. That's super helpful because now I can tell what the scale is. Each of these has a distance of 1/4. How do I know? Because I have 4 pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can think of them as 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. Now, a lot of times when kids get that, the first thing they do is they decide to write down that this must be negative 1/4. But I want to remind you, we're talking about distance. So to this line right over here where we had that dash, this is where negative 1/4 is. And we want to be super careful with that. Same thing happens when we use our rulers. Be very careful about where those numbers are, and it's at that line. So I'm going to write over here negative 1/4, and I'm counting by 1/4. So over here I have negative 2/4, negative 3/4, and negative 4/4. Now, because we know so much about numbers, especially fractions, we know that we want to represent them in simplest form. When I see 4/4, I know that I can represent this as a whole number. So I'm going to do that right now. 4/4 is the same as 1, or in this case, negative 1. Is there any other number, looking at them here, and I'm going to put the 0 here also so we can see it. Is there any other fraction that you can see here that can be simplified and written in simplest form? Take a moment, really think about it, because I do see 1, and it is right over here at the 2/4. I can simplify this to 1/2. So that's a common fraction. So I'm just going to do that. And we're going to do the same thing on the right side. So starting with 0, we already know the scale is by 4ths. So I'm going to count the other way, 1/4. And even though I can write 2/4, we know that's a half, so I'm not going to be redundant. I'm going to put the proper fraction there, 3/4 and 1. Now this is helpful, and I can really just locate my rational numbers pretty easily. So here's the first one. We have 1/2, and I know my 1/2, I can see it right here, positive 1/2. So the first one is B. 1/2 is at B. So I'm going to write that here. 1/2, and I'm just going to circle it, and I can see it on the top. Next, I have to label and locate negative 1/4. So I'm just going to look at the negatives to the left of 0, and here it is, 1/4. It's C, negative 1/4. Negative 1/2, again, I'm looking to the left of 0, and I can see it, negative 1/2. It was at A. And lastly, 3/4 is a positive, so I'm looking to the right of 0, and here's 3/4. and that was D. So what did I just do, Math Marbles? Just thinking through all my steps. First, I had to think of my scale. And because I had fractions, I used a fraction bar. To help me out. And I put my locations, my fractions were at the line. They were right at the line. So make sure that when you're writing your fractions, you're writing them right on the line and not in the space. Not in between, right at the line. Okay, and once I did that, I just made sure that any of my fractions were in simplest form. So check your fractions are in simplest form. And just look out for your positives and negatives. You don't want to make a silly mistake like that. Okay, Math Marbles, we're going to hit pause so you can jot this down into your notes. As you're locating rational numbers on number lines, just think through some of these same steps and hopefully you can find the correct scale and you'll be able to accurately locate rational numbers on your number line. We'll see you in the next lesson. Take care.